Yes, and welcome back to the Ormond Loop. It's just too beautiful for me not to do. And the beachside drive was beautiful, but I was really just soaking that in. So I'm sorry I didn't share it with you. But I was also getting my thoughts together to let you guys know what has been happening at the Hotel Cassadaga this week. The beautiful souls that were brave enough to come in and see me, to, my gosh, hear things that they know are true but keep getting denied around them. I remember when well, first let me just say, this is a very protected space. I'm speaking to all of you guys with the highest vibrational intentions to share information with you during a 3-dimension to 5-dimensionary planetary shift, ascension in energy that allows us to have a different reality for the first time in any history of anyone that we know, okay? And anyone that they know. We're going way, way back. Hundreds of thousands of years. Anyway, if there's anyone with negative intentions that's watching this or trying to cast any shade to me or anyone listening to these videos, I return that to Source of Origin for transmutation. This is just for educational purposes. And because I know what's happening, I am going to share it with y'all. So recently there's been a great divide. It's very obvious in the people that I'm seeing. Some have returned from last year and their whole timelines have shifted, and they're just getting support about what their higher selves and their guides would like them to know at this time that they could focus on while they have left people behind, left jobs behind, released children to ascend into their highest versions without codependency and enabling. You know, bravo to you parents. I mean, I had a mother this week who brought her 2 adult children with her for them to have readings and energetic healings so they could fill their cup back up. You know, I add energy to you. When you see me and I do what I do in my room with you, you are as light as you can be before you leave without it affecting you in a negative way. You feel more balanced, more steady on your feet. Your head is more clear and focused. But anyway, so we've had mothers bring in their young adult children. We've had men come in who now see succubus energies for what they are, and they are now going into hermit mode to heal why they keep attracting the same type of person. They're healing their father's wounds 7 generations back. They're healing any mother wounds, understanding that, I don't know, everything that goes with the mama wound, y'all. We won't get into it. I don't want to be on here too long. Those things they're dealing with in hermit mode, and they're getting their bodies back into shape. They're doing their parasite and heavy metal detoxes. They're doing different kinds of calisthenics. Some people are doing more movement and yeah, calisthenics opposed to lifting or running. They're swimming a lot. All of these people realize that they are now shifting into not only the best time of their life, but what their higher self has always told them they should become. I remember when I was with my ex and I started reading cards to see if I could get any more knowledge of what was happening outside of me, because I knew everybody was telling me a different version of their truth to my face. And even if my intuition told me something else was going on, the person that I loved and trusted the most told me that was incorrect. Okay? And before you hire investigators and start bugging your homes, know you're dealing with masters of the 3D matrix, and they are very clever. So what do? I go to my higher self and my spirit guides. I go to the Hotel Cassadaga and go into a vortex, and like I tell you guys, swim in the ocean and do my purges. Parasitic, heavy metal, writing and burning and releasing all childhood pain and suffering and past life, pain and suffering. Really doing the shadow work by myself in hermit mode, like we talk about, learning to breathe and regulate my nervous system. Understanding quantumly that how you feel inside and the thoughts you keep thinking over and over creates your reality. I don't care who you are. You cannot tell me that's not true. It has been proven. It's quantum. Hey, you can't deny quantum. If you don't know what it is, that does not make you oblivious to its reality, okay? We're having more and more information come out that tells us things that only the elite have known for thousands and thousands of years so that they could create their wonderful billionaire realities. Because we all can have it. You just can't be toxic and have it because, anyway. Nonetheless, so I remember when I knew I needed to start reading the cards, and my guides were telling me my life. And more importantly, they were telling me what was going to be coming up and what was around me that I did not see, to confirm that I was not crazy, but I had to take a leap of faith. You understand? That's where I'm circling back around to. I had to trust my intuition. I had to know who I was with people around me who wanted me to not believe who I was. So I read my energy. And I remember the one time, and I knew this is when me and my ex were going to be, he was going to be leaving soon. Not only by his behavior, but also because he said, it's either you stop reading those cards, because I knew what he was doing when he wasn't around me. Not because he was worried about him being a Christian and this was witchery, because he knew I loved Jesus, so he knew I wasn't a devil worshiper. He knew I wasn't into black magic. Everyone that knows me knows I've never been into paganism or anything, and I mean no disrespect to any of that, but I'm just letting you know how people, what they try to say to those they know and claim it to be fact when they're really hiding the truth. And that's why I was reading the cards. He was like, it's either the cards or me. And I'm like, holy shit. You know, I love this person more than anyone I've loved on the planet that I'm not related to. And I knew if I stopped reading those cards, I would not see what was going on behind my back that I felt was happening all the time. So I kept reading the cards. Okay? And wouldn't you know, which I would have never known, I'm now working at the Hotel Casadega, telling brave people that come in the things that are hard for them to hear, which is a confirmation of what they do not have proof of, but feel inside deeply. That they are sad, that they're depressed, that their head is spinning, that they can't make decisions, that their body is failing them, and they don't know why. Excuse me. It's because they're with someone around them that's of a lower vibration that's draining their energy. And if you cannot get away from that person, you have to try to separate yourself enough while living with them or working with them to where when you're away, you say, I call back my energy, all of it. And you breathe. You must have breath with things you say out loud. You have to have that energetic involvement, right? And when you do that, and you also go into the sun and you say, I'm receiving light from God's source, and I am removing all lower vibrational energies from me, and I'm sending them into the earth, Mother Gaia for transmutation, or to Source God for transmutation. You smile and you laugh when you're alone. You let your inner child have fun, and you know that you trust enough to be so present that it will sort itself out now in the age of Aquarius. Unlike in previous timelines where there had to be so much action. No. True faith allows God Source now to remove things from your life when you raise your vibration and maintain it and ask for assistance for your situation to be resolved. I did that. And I didn't know how this 6'8" person was going to be leaving my house, being who he is. But I knew that I asked God to help me, and when he said, now, go, lock the door. If this person doesn't apologize to you for the abuse that they almost ensued upon you or put upon you on your way home for no reason other than gaslighting you, knowing they're leaving soon, if they don't apologize, don't let them in. And he did not, and he walked away down the street 6 hours later, and I didn't see him again for a year and a half. Well, that at least feels like my interpretation of that. And then I went into hermit mode again. And I would have never done that if I wasn't asked and been open to receive signs and synchronicities, and trust that God's source would, and my guides, help him just walk away. And then stay away. Because the healing that that person needed, I wasn't going to be able to provide for them. The love that that person needed, I showed that that's what could be received. And that is what the people are dealing with right now. They're dealing with families that they have to pull away from that they've loved. They're dealing with children that they love but are needing to heal their past life karmic debt that that parent cannot teach them. They're dealing with exes that they need to remove themselves from because they cannot be friends. You must allow people to be free. Dealing with people leaving jobs. And all of these people have others talking poorly about them, about the decisions that they're making because that makes no sense to them. Exactly what I had to do. Made no sense to anyone while I was throwing cards. Made no sense to anyone while I wouldn't practice as a physician assistant. I have my license, but now I know I need to be there to help people receive information that I knew I needed. And I did it on my own. I didn't take not a class. I trusted what God told me these cards meant. I didn't do anything ever in any class or any group or take any ayahuasca or Kambo or any of these medicines to purge. I just did it by myself. So I'm just telling you guys this. So if you're wondering, how can I know more about myself? How can I do this? You know, I can't read cards. I don't have the finances to go to the hotel. Well, that's why I talk to you guys every day to say, all right, well, first just start doing breath work with Sandy and being still. Walking slower and speaking less. Asking God out loud during the day, all day, to bring you things that you want, signs and synchronicities. You need assistance with removing yourself from toxic places. And how do you do that? And can you bring me signs? And so it is. And then allowing yourself to receive, which means not letting your head constantly have problem-solving thoughts because you have no control right now. And if you think you do, eventually Source is going to show you you have none by sitting you down and saying, okay, how are you going to do something now when you're in bed? How are you going to do something now when you have no energy? How are you going to do something right now? There's my house. I love my house. Oh, yes, I'm manifesting you. So anyway, all these people came to the hotel this week, and they are at the threshold of making massive changes in their life. And all of them were told to go into hermit mode. Deny appointments that take you from being in hermit. Don't see people and do lunches, and don't do things, you know, go out like I am and be by yourself and listen to the nothingness. And that actually changes your reality. I have couples that are coming together that just left other partners, and they needed information on what should they be doing right now to raise their vibration and keep it raised because their nervous system's shot because the other person's gone psychopath on them, calling their jobs, calling their exes, calling their children, you know, doing things like that, causing complete chaos in their life. Well, you know, that's going to happen. So just stay in hermit, clean your house, throw away things that have bad energy or energy that's stagnant. Go to the gym, go for a walk, sit in your yard, breathe. Eat or don't eat. You don't have to eat. Just hydrate, take your supplements. If you decide to eat, don't eat heavy, dense foods. You know? Try some new teas. And be present, because all of us have to go through that time where you separate from people and you go through massive attack. And right now it's pretty bad. These people are leaving situations that should have been left a long time ago, so it's worse than it was if they would have done it 3 years ago. And I'm not judging, and they're not judging themselves, and I'm just like, well, you learn some extra things while you're in that. It's always learning and passing tests. But they're under attack heavily because the dark forces of the planet know that there are more and more people wanting to know who they are without external influences from others that do not reciprocate the energy that they give to them. And because these people are going to become more whole, they're going to be able to think more clearly and raise their vibration and have more consciousness and see the world for what it is and who they should be listening to and who they shouldn't, having higher spiritual discernment, which everyone needs to freaking know. It's the only reason a lot of us are doing this, is so that you all can see things for what they are. There is so much hidden, and I am not getting into it right now. I want this video to go, but I'm on here to teach you guys how to get the vibration up so that you can start seeing your reality for what it truly is and how it's affecting your body, mind, and soul and your generational wealth. Because I want everyone healthy and I want everyone wealthy. Because it's due. There's a lot of things happening in the United States of America that people just think it's just the land of milk and honey. And we have been enslaved for a very long time. And that's going to be dissolving. And it's going to fracture a lot of psyches if people are still in illusions and don't have their spiritual intuition intact so that they can keep their nervous system calm and understand that they control their reality. So y'all stand strong. Ask for energy, clarity, and focus. Know that the shift, when we say the shift is real and there is a split between the 3D and the 5D, it is more and more apparent every week. And I am sending everyone so much love and light who are seeing their lives transform and are having to go through all the hate and the lies and the slander and the freaking, I can't even tell you how much shit I went through. But I can be empathetic to those that are going through that now and tell you, you can be on the other side of it like I am, and just open to receive that. That's the highest vibration and only adds to my life. And trust me, anyone and anything around me right now that isn't authentic, I'm being brave enough to say it to their faces that that is not a reality, that they are in victim mode, that they're a martyr or trying to be a martyr, that they're in some other program of childhood where they feel they have to do to be worthy, and then and they don't even ask for reciprocity. Anyway, do your breathing, let your inner child have fun today, do some movement, and when you think in your head a lot, to think positive things about yourself and talk out loud good things. I'm only open to the highest vibrational frequencies, God. Please keep low vibrational energies away from me. And you notice I say energies, not humans, because there's a lot of energy that cannot be seen. And that shit's real. So cover yourself and say, and so it is. There's a lot of betrayal going on. As I'm talking to y'all, my body is a barometer and my right shoulder blade, is on fire right now. Which means there's a lot of people betraying people. And I am helping transmute that to all y'all watching this. And I don't mind, because I'm going to shake it out as soon as we're done. But yeah, it's happening. And I know I was talking about it a couple of moons ago, but it is really here now. When I see all these people coming in saying, yes, I was tempted. I went out with this group of guys and we went here, and this one guy in particular who showed up in the cards as someone whose heart is not available. They have no emotional attachment to their heart. And this is the guy that wanted to get into a fight right in front of the cops and have everyone go to jail. And the divine men that were there, who have been working on themselves, were able to diffuse it quickly and avoid that from happening. But now this young man knows that that person is not someone he can have around him. He already suspected it. But for me to say this person is always in their head, constantly wearing armor, ready to fight at all times. Why? Because he hasn't healed his heart. He hasn't healed the solar plexus, gotten rid of anxiety and fear about not having control. Hasn't healed his sacral chakra below that, the pelvis, because he's still attaching himself to succubus energies, and they're draining his life force, which takes that fluid from your pelvis and lowers it so you don't have fluid going to what? Your third eye, the top of your head. And the fluid that is going is so fucking tainted that your thoughts are disgusting because of the energy that you have been involving yourself in. Then you have the other one, the last one, the root, at the very base of your spine, and that energy is not stable because they always feel like they're going to be abandoned and homeless. And that program is from many, 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 many lifetimes. Not even from this one even. I mean, it can be, but not to the magnitude in which people run away from love. It's got to be from many lifetimes. If it's only from this lifetime, shit, you should have figured it out. So there's no shade. It just means you have to do the work. Piece of paper, write, speak. I release my abandonment wounds from this lifetime and all past lifetimes. And so it is. And know that you are loved, and the people that are authentic will be shown to you. And if you don't have spiritual discernment, you won't know who they are. And then you'll have to go through more pain and suffering. And then you hopefully will be okay and learned your lessons. So know it's been a very important week to what? Honor yourselves. Take time for yourself. Go into hermit mode. They got beautiful parks everywhere. Go into hermit mode. And be at peace and create thoughts that are your future reality. Okay? I love y'all. I hope you have a wonderful day. Peace.